Welcome. This particular video is going to be all about CS6, creating parallel lines. So I'm doing these ones. I'm going to put little parallel lines next to it. This is the last notes video of constructions. Okay? So remember that you need something to write with. You need a straight edge. Very important when you're doing parallel lines. You need to be able to make lines. And then remember, if you have it, you need your compass. Now, if you don't have this, that's okay. Just sketch your arcs, okay? But if you do have it, I would use it. Also, it's always good to have a color, okay, to really point out what your steps are. Okay, so let's open up our books to our last page, okay? We have lots and lots of space for this one. I'm going to zoom in. There we go, okay. Alright, so today I'm going to show you how to construct, helps when you can see, right? Construct parallel lines. Alright, now a quick note. You need to know what the word parallel means. Now the word parallel means that the lines have the same slope, okay? Or do not intersect, okay? So these lines are never going to touch no matter how long you make them, and that is because they have the same slope. Perpendicular lines always cross, and they actually have slopes that are opposite reciprocals. So, good to know when you're creating equations, right? And here we're really focusing on this definition, the fact that they shouldn't intersect when you create them, okay? Now in this, what you're given, okay, is you are given a line. That's why it has the arrows, and you're going to be given a point. Now notice you're given the same thing as you were given in drawing a perpendicular line through a point. But remember, this time we are creating parallel lines. So it's important to read the directions, especially now that you have 6 different constructions that you've learned. You really need to know the difference between them. Okay. Our first step, step number 1, okay, draw your line again. And your point. Okay, your first step, move it up, is to draw a line through A and that intersects with the line. Now, it can be anywhere. It can be like this, it could be like this, it could be like this. It does not matter as long as the line goes through the point and through the line. Okay, let me make it blue so I know that that was my step. Okay, so your first step, draw a line through point A that intersects with given line. Okay, that is step 1, to draw this blue line. Okay. Step number 2. Sorry. Get situated. Step number 2. Okay. You're going to want your line again with your point. And then remember, our first step was to draw a line through the point. Now make sure when you draw your line it kind of goes a little bit high because you're going to need it when you, okay? And I'm also going to name this intersection that we created, I'm going to name it B because we're going to use this time, alright? So in this step, you use your compass, and what you do is you put the pointy part on B, okay? And you just kind of open it up so that the radius doesn't go bigger than where A is. You don't want it to go out here. You want it to go before you get to A, okay? Like so. So you see how the curve, the arc, actually hits the line before it hits A, and then you're going to do the same arc, but from A. So you draw two arcs. Ooh. Make sure I have the right radius. I don't want to mess up. Okay. Okay. So you can see you're drawing an arc from B, and then you're drawing the same arc from A. Okay. Draw an arc from point B and A, okay, with radius smaller than segment BA. Okay, so you don't want it to go bigger than segment BA. Okay, and make sure you do it from both points. Essentially what we're doing starting in step 2 is you're doing the construction for copying an angle, right? So remember, in copying an angle, you had an angle, here's your angle, right? And the first thing you did was draw an arc, right? And then you had the line for the new angle, and you did the same arc through that line, okay? Okay, step 3. I'm going to move this thing over. Actually, fold this back. Running out of room, okay? Okay, so this is step number 3. Okay, I'm going to draw what I have so far for my picture. So I have a line with a point, point A, and then first we drew a line through the point, like so. Draw my arrows, and that created B, and then we did arcs like this, right? Okay, so what you're going to do, just like when you're copying an angle, okay, what you need to do is you need to measure how wide your angle is, and by drawing these arcs, it allowed us to know how wide, where to measure. So you just open your compass up so that it has the width of the angle, right? So the pointy part is at one intersection and the other part is at the other intersection. Or if you really want to give them names, you want your compass width to be CD, to fit just at CD, okay? And then you use that width and you go up to where it intersects up here. We'll call this one E, okay? You go up to E with that width, so your width of CD, go up to E and you mark it, just like so. Okay? So, measure width of angle B, right, from C to D, and mark from point E. And remember, E was the intersection up here. So this is what step 3 is to create that. And remember, use the width from C to D. Alright? That's step 3. Okay? One more step. Step number 4. It's a very big picture. Hopefully I can fit it. And we have a line with a point, draw a line through the point. Okay, so that was point A. It made point B, and then we drew an arc to create C and D. We did the same arc up here, and that created point E. And then, make sure since I'm just sketching, I'm going to make sure I did it right. Create a little arc right here. So it creates this intersection. We'll call this intersection F, alright? And your final step is to draw a line from A to F, or through A and through F. Make it blue. And as you can see, the two lines are parallel. And to show that lines are parallel, you just put little arrows through them. And then I usually like making double ones. I think they look pretty. Okay, so this tells you that it's parallel. Okay, so what we did here was draw a line through point A and intersection F, right? Through this X that it created. Okay? Now, this is what it's going to look like. So remember, don't go anywhere. In order to finish the notes, okay, we need to go up to the top. Okay? And we need to draw our final construction. And just like in some of the other videos, I'm going to do this construction just to show you what it would look like if you have a different given. Okay, so no matter what, you have a line. Okay, and then you have a point, line, point. We'll call this point X. Okay, your first step is to draw a line through X that intersects. So it creates this intersection right here. Okay, we'll call this J. Okay, and then you take your compass, and from J you create an arc. Now make sure your arc does not go past X. And you do the same arc from X. Now I want you to notice it didn't touch. What am I going to do? It's fine because this is a line. So I can go like this. Oh, snap. Make it longer. Coolest trick in the book. Okay. So now that I have this arc, okay, what I'm really doing is I'm copying angle J onto angle X. Okay. So I'm just going to put a note up here. Copying angle J to make angle X. Okay, and also you can write angles like this. Oops, X. Because if you put the arrow, that means angle. Okay. Alright, so now, like I said, I'm copying it, so I want the same width. So I'm going to measure the width. From here to here, we can give them names. Let's call them L and M. So I'm going to measure L and M like so. Okay? And then I'm going to mark it from point N. That was the intersection the arc created. So use the width from L to M, go up to N, and mark it. Okay? And then what it creates is an intersection. It creates this X, called the X P. Okay? Make that darker. And then your last step is to connect your original X with P.